Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos, the Mad Titan. But who exactly is Thanos, and how might he tie into the future of the MCU? As always, we've got spoilers from the comics and the movies here. Here's everything you need to know about Thanos. Thanos first appeared in Iron Man number 55 in 1973 and was created by Jim Starlin, one of the masters of cosmic comic book storytelling. That first Thanos story continued through various Marvel titles that year, including Captain Marvel, Daredevil, and Avengers. This would prove to be a recurring model for the character's appearances, which often involved big crossover events featuring multiple heroes. Thanos was born on Titan, the moon of Saturn, to the Eternals, evolutionary offshoots of the human race, created by the godlike space beings the Celestials, and blessed with superpowers and extremely long lives. The Eternals are generally good guys, but Thanos was born deformed, different from his flawless brothers and sisters, more beast than beauty. He had a genetic quirk which made him look like a deviant, the monstrous cousins of the Eternals. And so, as he grew to adulthood, Thanos became isolated, morbid, and obsessed with both death and power. Eventually, he even fell in love with death itself, as in the Marvel Universe's personification of it. And hence, Thanos' never-ending mission to bring destruction to the galaxy was born. He's just trying to impress a girl, which brings a whole new meaning to that courting death line from his end credits appearance in The Avengers.
To challenge them is to court death.
In his quest to impress death, Thanos sought power, which led him to Earth, where he had learned of the nearly omnipotent device known as the Cosmic Cube. His search for an eventual acquisition of that weapon brought him into conflict with Earth's heroes, including the Avengers. He was ultimately defeated, but not deterred, and in time he surfaced again in search of the Soul Gems, 6 ancient, powerful stones. Also called the Infinity Stones, each one can give its user almost complete control over a particular aspect of existence: space, mind, soul, reality, time, and power. Of course, in the movies, these stones, which aren't always actual stones, mind you, so far include the Tesseract from Avengers, the Ether from Thor: The Dark World, and the Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy. Judging by his attempts in Guardians of the Galaxy to obtain the Orb, it seems clear that the MCU version of Thanos is searching for all the stones, just as his comics counterpart did. This search, in fact, led to the famed storyline The Infinity Gauntlet in the comics, where the Mad Titan wiped out half the living beings in the universe in tribute to Mistress Death. He did this with the all-powerful Gauntlet, the Infinity Stone-encrusted glove Thanos created. But after Thanos used this awesome power to merge with, well, eternity itself, the villain's maybe sorta granddaughter Nebula took control of the Gauntlet, and through Nebula and the glove, the destruction Thanos had caused was reversed. And actually, in the movie world, we've already glimpsed the Infinity Gauntlet, very briefly, in the first Thor, tucked safely away in Odin's trophy room. Presumably that was more of a fun Easter egg than an actual story point in the bigger film series, as we know now that the stones are mostly scattered across the galaxy. For the moment, anyway. And by the way, Nebula does appear in Guardians too, as Thanos' adopted daughter rather than his granddaughter. Back to the comics, Thanos would continue to make bids for power and villainy over the years, but he'd also play the hero from time to time, even serving on the cosmic team the Infinity Watch. He's died and been resurrected, been trapped in pocket dimensions, and he even retired and became a farmer for a time. Because, you know, when you've been eternity itself, where does one go from there? The answer, of course, is Hollywood. While Thanos already had his Avengers cameo and a small supporting presence in Guardians, it appears that Marvel is ramping up to make the Mad Titan the chief villain of Avengers 3. And as such, he represents the crescendo of the studio's first 3 phases. The Infinity Stones have been a key part of the Marvel movies so far, and it all seems to be leading to the Gauntlet. And the character already has ties to the Guardians and the Avengers. On both page and screen, his adopted daughter is Gamora, and he was also responsible for the death of the vengeance-driven Drax's family. And in the comics at least, he has a brother who joined the Avengers for a time, Star Fox. How this all plays out remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: Thanos is a key player in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. To believe otherwise would be to court death.